Ladies and gentlemen, the event is about to begin. Please take your seats. Once again, we ask you to all take your seats immediately. The event will begin in 90 seconds. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is your final warning. Please take your seats. Our event is about to commence. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can please rise for the UAE National Anthem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today has begun. Look at all you guys. First of all, give yourselves a big round of applause. You're here. It's a Saturday, and you guys want to learn, and we're going to break a world record. Welcome to one of the greatest cities in the world. Welcome to one of the greatest countries in the world. Here we are. My name is Chris Fade. An absolute honor to be here with you this afternoon. We've got a beautiful day together from all the way to the left to the right. Are we ready to learn today? See, the back didn't make any noise. I can come down there and find out. Are we ready to learn today? We have some amazing speakers. We have some amazing educational moments. Oh, by the way, I've got about 25 iPhones to give away and MacBook Airs. Does anybody want one? Oh, you made more noise for the iPhone than do you want to learn? So I'm going to tell you the first way you can win, and we give them all away today. Anyone that tags AYS developers on social media throughout the afternoon, if you tag them on an Instagram story, if you tag them on a post, you go in the running to win an iPhone 16 or a MacBook Air. We will announce your name, okay? So get tagging anytime throughout the afternoon. You can put a photo of the screen of one of our amazing speakers, our panelists, whatever it is. Make sure you tag and make sure you follow, all right? AYS developers for your chance to win today. All right. Formalities. Good morning. Welcome. Again, it's an absolute honor to be here. Today, AYS developers are a name synonymous with premium developments, visionary thinking, and we're here today with you to break a Guinness World Record, the world's largest real estate training session. And yes, you're all a part of it, so put your hands together because we'll all get it today. This initiative is brought to you through the bold leadership of AYS developers, and we thank you for all being here today. And with the one and only Dr. Noor El-Sarouki, the eagle of real estate, who's going to be bringing you an amazing session shortly, an Innovation Experts Real Estate Institute. Yeah, well done. Give him a round of applause. We love him. The event is officially endorsed by the Dubai Land Department. So thank you to the DLD for being here. A powerful reminder of Dubai remains of the global hub of innovation, education, and real estate excellence. Personally, I believe that Dubai is one of the greatest cities in the world. I've bought 3 properties in the last 18 months in this city, and I'm not going to stop. I really have full trust in this city, in this country's leadership, and more. So today we're about learning more about it, where the growth is, what we should be looking at. Do we have any brokers in the room? Are our brokers in the room today? Any of you? Yeah? It always takes you, I have to say this twice to get you making noise. Where are my brokers in the room? Make some noise. See? It's always twice. I don't know why, brokers, but it works like that. Thank you for joining us as well. You guys are pivotal in this growth of not only this city, but this country when it comes to real estate. So thank you. Now, while today is about training and professional growth, it's also more about that. It's about the community, innovation, and the real legacy of what we're going to leave behind here this afternoon. World-class amenities, smart home technologies, European finishes, AYS developments really has it all. AYS stands for that, pushing forward, breaking boundaries, and delivering what this city deserves and what you deserve. We're not just buildings, but we're a deep commitment to after-sales service. Take a look at the big screen.
Here, everything moves faster, reaches further, grows bigger. And at the heart of this ever-evolving world, a signature stands out. AYS is more than a brand. It's a way of life, a lifestyle shaped by vision, passion, and finesse. Built on excellence, crafted with architectural precision and rich materials. Every space becomes an experience, every detail iconic. Enjoy the finer things in life. Live the dream. Live it with AYS.
Once again, a big round of applause for AYS. Thank you. Again, it's a Saturday. We could be at the beach. I know it's hot. You could be playing with the kids, but you're here to learn today. You're here to better yourselves. You're in the top 1%. If you want to learn, if you want to grow yourself, you have to push yourself to those limits. And here we are on a weekend doing that. So well done, each and every single one of you. Now, before the training, we're going to talk a little bit about the hot investment. For instance, Dubai Islands, which is a key focus of today's session, which we'll be talking to you about. We'll be talking about, obviously, just off the coast of Deira, with direct connectivity to the Dubai International Airport, downtown, Jumeirah and Dubai Creek. It is an amazing area, and the growth is going to be substantial. Dr. Noor will be able to tell us more about that with some teasers on the way. We're going to be talking about strong capital growth, which is so important. 36% year-on-year growth in property value, with prices expected to rise even more than that. And of course, with big returns, which is what we're all here for. It's becoming a top destination for tourism and hospitality investments. Backed by Nakheel, so it carries lower risk and, of course, high.
Thanks. The mic is on. Amazing. First of all, I'm happy to see all of you here. I see familiar faces and people that I'm glad to know today. And I just want to make sure of something. First of all, if you truly love Dubai, I would like to hear a round of applause for Dubai being the city of the impossible. So I have believers in the room. Thanks God, I have believers in the room. So what we are going to be doing today, it's not just the traditional real estate training that you are accustomed to. We are doing a breaking for the Guinness World Record for the largest real estate lesson in the world. And we are having one of the best adjudicators here with us in the room, and there are some rules that we need to follow in order to help us maintain the record. First rule, please. We have to remain seated, no exiting, nothing for a minimum of 45 minutes. Anyone who is going to get up of his seat and exits is going to be causing one seat to be disqualified. So we need to achieve this together. And when I mention together, each and every one of you who registered, and we have his mobile number, his email is going to be receiving an official certificate from Innovation Experts Real Estate Institute in collaboration with AYS developers and Guinness World Records for attending this training. So we are going to be doing this together, okay? So once I start the attempt, we should be all staying in the room. And by that, please, AV team, I seek that the counter in front of me to be on, to be mindful of the time. And now I announce officially that we are starting the attempt for breaking the Guinness World Record for the largest real estate lesson in the world, 2025 in Dubai. So, as I start my lesson, please ask the AV team, please, for the counter. It's really important for me. So, as we start, who you are, what you do, some people know you, some not, and what's this freaking suit that you are coming with? So I'll tell you two stories before we start the lesson. First of all, I'm a real estate addict. I've spent the past 19 years dealing with the real estate industry in multiple cities around the world. So I can value what Dubai is offering. What's really the opportunity here for us as brokers and investors? This is first thing. Second, I'm natively Egyptian guy, and Egypt adores UAE. But I had to make my name as the Eagle of Real Estate in my suit as a statement of love and appreciation. And thanks to the brand Ghawia, it's a local brand who inspired the design for me to make this suit for you today. So, why Dubai? When you ask anyone about why Dubai, they will start to speak about safety, which is true. They will start to speak about lots of factors. But today, I want to equip you to speak like a true property consultant, not another real estate broker. When we start, what's the investors looking for? 100% taxation, which is killing them around the world. So why Dubai first? The zero income tax. And you cannot speak about Dubai is tax-free, because this is not true. We have a VAT of 5%. But to be sincere and honest with your investors, Dubai has zero income tax for your property. You rent it for 100,000, you get cashed in 100,000 in your pocket. So this is the first one. Second, infrastructure, continuous development and upgrades. Always invest in a city that invests in itself. If you want to make sure that your money is growing and this investment is having a future, you need to monitor what's happening in the infrastructure flow. So right now we are having bridges being built in order to make it much more facilitation in terms of the traffic. We are having uplifting in all the infrastructure factors, which actually is happening in Dubai Islands as well, with all of these bridges and extra investments coming in to make Dubai Islands as an independent coastal city inside of Dubai. It will have hospitals, it will have schools, it will have all the luxury amenities, and a single one in the world that's having special golf course over an island. So all of this you should consider in terms of infrastructure. And then we go to the third factor, which is the timing and belief. Real estate investment is more like the Einstein theory, time and space. So time is yesterday. If you are missing the opportunity to invest in Dubai today, you are wasting money. You should have invested yesterday. And if you are talking about the location, you should be hunting the hidden opportunity locations, the locations that are still built, the locations that are part of the D2040. And this is the third important thing. Dubai has a strategic plan. Lands and developments are not going haphazardly. There are people in this city and this country who are looking after the welfare of each and every investor. So, since we have a strategy and we have a plan of development, then you should be part of that, entering the market now, and then you should be asking your investor, what's your cycle of investment it's going to be? 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, or 10 years? What's the difference? For each and every investor, there is an entry point and an exit point. They are not always investing for a long lifetime. So maybe most of the developments are going to be ending in 2 years and 3 years, which means that they will flip the property after the handover. And please, I ask you sincerely from the bottom of my heart that don't promise your investors that you will flip the property in 2 weeks when it's off plan, or 1 month. This is my first humble advice, okay? And consider it as my will. I will write it on it. Guys, please, if you can exit the doors, I would highly appreciate it. Second thing, that after promising your clients with this, don't promise any guaranteed returns on investment. Always use the word expected. We are expecting. And you can do both, worst case scenario and a best case scenario. What is the third advice that you are recommending? If anyone is coming to you and they are starting their investment, if they are not from the city, always ask them, you have the down payment? It's okay. Can you cover other 2 installments or not? Because they are going to be stuck, and then we have all of the drama that's happening on cancellation. So you see, some few things that we do as real estate brokers, it's not only harming the investors, it's harming our own reputation as well. One more thing about the fourth factor. Why Dubai? Transparency, guys. Transparency index. Right now, you have governmental platform, you have private platforms that can tell you the average price per square foot in this area is this. And you can have the rental yield, which is going to be that. Guys, this is my second announcement. Please close the door. We need to close all the exits. Okay? So I focus on the transparency by means that when I advise my investor, I can go to the Dubai Rest app and tell him that the average price per square foot in this area was, which is expected that it's going to be. So transparency is really important, because in 2025, moving onwards to 2050, inshallah, data is the new oil. Everything is about data. And since we are talking data and AI, we should always figure on, let's focus in our front of our eyes that AI is there, AI is coming. And this was applied in the new rental index, which is really adding an added value as well to the transparency index, that you are taking all the factors right now without having any human intervention. So taxation, infrastructure, transparency, and what else? Economy. Real estate, economy, and politics are the Bermuda Triangle, connected to each other. Enough philosophy, I'll prove it to you. Any challenges happening in the world or the Middle East, where people are coming, where is the safest place? Dubai. These people coming to Dubai will do one or two things. Either buy a property or rent a property, correct? So this is the politics. If we go to the economy, Dubai and the whole of UAE government have been focused on 2 strategic objectives: to create 2 types of economy, oil economy and non-oil economy. Focusing on that the non-oil economy exceeds the oil economy, which guarantees stable currency. I've worked in multiple real estate markets that the currency is subject to devaluation. It means that right now clients are entering with $1 million and exiting with 800,000 US. I had a Turkish investor talking to me last week telling me, Noor, we have 30 million liras. I informed them, okay, don't get cocky, it's 3 million dirhams. So you see, but I can, in 3 years, with a good consultation, I can double your 3 million. This can be done in Dubai. So this is part of why Dubai. Then we go for the last aspect, which is really important: legalization, the legal framework. In this city, we have people that fought for a long time to recover from the crisis of 2008, 2007, 2009, whatever you want to name it, with the escrow account. And still we have agents and brokers till now want to go directly without an escrow account. And they miss to say it to their investors. Another thing, we have a legal framework that guarantees the right equally between investors, developers, and brokers, tenants and landlords. The problem is that we are not aware 100% about the laws and legislations. But this is one of the things for a first-time investor coming here It's the challenge. And then you should always not assume that your clients know everything. I still, till today, face some investors who think that Dubai is an independent country. It's not a city. They don't know about Abu Dhabi being the capital because it's not their part of the world. This is first. Second, okay, does the prince give the land? Guys, there is no more like that. It's freehold, 100%. You can own it for long, and you can inherit it to your grandsons and daughters. It's up to you. So you need to explain. Never assume that your client really understands the full story behind Dubai. And this takes me to why selling the dream. And what's the meaning of selling the dream? Most of us who are working in the off-plan sales, we are saying that, inshallah, in 3 years, you will get this picture of the building done. And inshallah, in 3 years or 2 years, you will have a capital appreciation of 30%, maybe, or 20%, or 10% per annum. And the last one, that you will get an ROI of 5% and 6%. Please, there is a huge difference between ROI and rental yield. Completely different. So when you speak about these 5% or 10%, you are talking only about the rental yield. And this rental yield, you are speaking about it, you should be transparent, gross or net. So when you tell me that in Dubai you can make a 10% ROI, I'm sorry, it's 10% rental yield, this is the first, or 9 or 8. And you should deduct the service charges. Then you can have the net rental yield, actually, which is getting in the pocket of your investors. So again, since this city is supporting transparency, we should be transparent as well. It's our obligation. We don't have this Hippocrates law or oath that, like the doctors, the physicians, but still we have a code of conduct, which is part of the law, by the way. If you passed your RERA exam, you definitely have studied this chapter. And you know that there is obligation on us that we should be speaking with complete transparency and decency. So let's go to the second part of the ROI that you speak about, capital appreciation. How do I get to know the capital appreciation? Since you are talking about the transparency index, then you have multiple platforms that you can go back up to 2012 and to see what was the market performance, the average price per square foot. Or go back 3 years, and then you can start to forecast what's happening in the next 3 years. Don't take ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini for granted, because even their creators have mentioned that they make mistakes. So always rely on your own judgment of the data and the numbers. That the government have invested lots of time and effort to make it available for you to be able to aid your investors. So according to the last reports, year on year, 2024 to 2025, same time, it was a capital appreciation of 11.1%. And it might range between other resources mentioning 10%, and the highest value is about 12%. So this is the barrier. When you want to do a case study for your investor about an off-land property, you should be proposing 2 scenarios, best case scenario and worst case scenario. Not go, okay, this is the payment plan, this is the project brochure, and here is the inventory. Pick your unit and call me. Wallah, if you are working as a call center at KFC, you will not do that. Where is your added value? Why you get shocked that your investors come and tell you, why should I give you commission? What you have done? You have been just a messenger forwarding messages. Where is your consultation? Where is your added value? The moment that you don't have a value at any process, you're replaceable. And then you go to the most nasty thing. I will not tell you it's right or wrong, but actually I feel it's a shame dealing with the cashback or the kickback. Seriously, I can swear that I've never did it and I won't ever do it. Because I feel that's an insult for me. I would fight to get my clients a discount from certain place, the developer, or maybe a discount from the seller, but never to cut out from my commission. Because actually, I do my work properly. I do my job. I offer true consultation. Okay, so what if we consider that why off-plan is booming in Dubai? So capital appreciation plus rental yield is your winning. This is the cycle of investment, 5 years. So 3 years of capital appreciation till the handover, and then you can have 2 years of rental yield. Afterwards, you exit if you work with the plan of the 5 years. 7 years, 10 years, it depends on your location. Then flexible payment plans. I've worked in some cities around the world that have been offering post-payment handover up to 8 years from the developer pocket, 6 and 5 years ago. Where is that? Actually, it's happening in Egypt. I've been brought on that. We never had this 40-60, 60-40, which is, by the way, a huge success and security for both the investor and the developer because of this stable currency. So right now, you are having a post-payment handover, but you go to the developer and ask them, why are you increasing the price? Because actually, they are giving you a facility for 2 years or 3 years to make installments. But you should be taking the right decision. Is this percentage less than the mortgage offered from the bank or not? Then you go for the post-payment handover or not. And then investor-friendly regulations. Each and every one from around the world is welcomed in Dubai. What I truly, from the heart, love about UAE and Dubai, that it's like a pot of chocolate where everyone melts in, easy and smooth, tenderly. You can get into the market if you have the proper consultation that's given by your good self and myself to our investors. And then strong developer economy. The bubble. I've been hearing about the bubble busting in Dubai since 2018. And then when the COVID came, oh, Dubai and the bubble in 2021, whoop, we have a huge spike. 2022, another spike. 2023, a little bit of correction, but still performing on the top. That we are aiming for this year, I believe that the closures of sales in the market might be around 1 trillion dirham minimum. And we are talking about a city which encapsulates 5.5% of the whole land mass of the UAE. Oh, this is geography? Yes, of course, you need to understand geography. How come you sell a place that you don't know, understand the geography of it? How come you sell a place that you don't know the history about it? You should have passion for this industry. If your ambition is to come and to make 1 million dirham and then take your flight and go back home, deal as you do. But please take my advices seriously if you want to be a long timer. You need to feel the soil. You need to be a storyteller. Story sells, information tells. The moment that you start to tell everyone that the UAE right now is having an economy which is composed of 7 engines, all of them are empowered, coming roughly. 86.4% of the land mass belongs to Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is the capital. It's composed of 3 cities. And then you go to Dubai, 5.5, and then you go to start to speak about other Emirates, and then you take them back. It's a storyline. The more knowledge that you offer to your clients for free, the more they will start to build a credibility bridge with you. They will start to trust you. One of the most famous landmines that you can step on when someone of my teammates come and tell me, "No, don't worry, this client trusts me, he will bring the checks tomorrow." I look at them and tell them, okay, go ask your mama to pray. If she's not praying for you, nothing is going to be happening, because trust is earned, it's not granted. How come that someone that you spoke to them in the phone twice or 3 times is going to be trusting you? This takes years of being seasoned in the market, that when someone gives you the call, they trust you. And this, actually, I'm honored and blessed to have all of these people, most of them the best named in the market, coming in the panel discussion today, because they will tell you their stories. They will tell you how they did that after long years. It doesn't come in a blink. So back to the bubble, how you answer this. First of all, what are the reasons for a bubble to burst in a real estate market? First thing, fake supply and fake demand. So do we have a fake supply? No, actually we have a continuous development all the time. What about the fake demand? Are the people who are investing in Dubai, most of them are institutional investors, or we have actual home buyers or independent investors? How much is the market being circulated in mortgage versus cash? If you will check the last report, you will find that the real estate market in Dubai is being circulated on mortgages maximum. It was at its peak 16% of the market value. 84% is on cash buyers, which means that we have a liquid money. So we are far away from the US market crisis in 2008. Why is that? Because the American dream simply was about this. You go, take a mortgage, work for us for 25 years, finish the mortgage, and then afterwards take another mortgage to get your like sons and daughters into college, which is not happening. So this means that when the financial institutions in the USA has crashed, real estate market definitely should be crashing. And they were on the verge of that, by the way, again, a couple of months ago, if you follow the news, which is not the case here. Yes, you can go and you can take a mortgage, but it's not for everyone. There is debt burden. Mortgages are not allowed for anyone who doesn't have a UAE residency unless they have certain specific properties or characteristics. They can start with that. So this is the first thing when you start to speak about the bubble. Then supply and demand. We are talking about transparency. I can tell you right now that with the growing population reaching 3.6 and more people coming in, and don't believe me, you have been stuck in traffic, correct? Why is traffic happening? Lots of people coming here, which means there is supply and there is huge demand for it. Also, the demand is being regulated and backed up by the government. In the past 6 months, there was a shout out asking for the best physicians and the best educators in schools and universities to come in and to be granted golden visa. When these people come in, what will they do? They either rent or they buy. So even the government is supporting the community to elevate, to have niche community inside of Dubai, and also help in the real estate market development. And more and more and more, we can speak about the bubble regarding the reports and everything related to that. So let's move to the buyer psychology. You need to understand your buyers. What we have learned at schools and universities, that the business relationships are either going to be B2C, business to customer, B2B, business to business, and B2G, business to government, which is actually not anymore. I attended an amazing session for one of the gurus in psychology, and he said that this is old news. Relation is H to H, human to human. You will not be able to conduct business to business if you don't like the person in front of you. You need to deal with people as humans, not adjust dollar signs and commissions. The moment that you start to understand their psychology, the moment that you understand their consumer behavior, their buyer behavior, the more that you start to listen, which is a problem for all men, and I admit it. We hear, we do not listen. I can see ladies smiling. Yes, and I admit that. Why? Because you should listen to what your client is saying, process it, and then reply. Don't go immediately in the defense mood. Don't defend Dubai. Dubai doesn't need your defense at all. And if an investor doesn't understand the value of Dubai, it's his loss. What's your job? To clear things, to attend to their inquiries. Not in a defensive mood, but let's say, okay, someone say to me, Noor, the market here in Dubai is super expensive. I won't convince him about expensive and cheap. I'll ask him one thing. Expensive with respect to what? Maybe you want to buy in Palm Jumeirah. Of course, it's expensive. But expensive for your budget, or expensive according to the other major cities, or expensive to other projects that are being offered in other areas. Maybe you are pitching for 2 properties. One, you want to get it ready in Palm Jumeirah, and the other one, maybe it's offered for you, some property ready in Dubai land. How can you compare both? So you just clear things. This is your job. So the first thing is going to be the fears in delay delivery. Okay, regarding the delays. We have an SPA, we have a contract, and we have the RERA, and we have the progress in construction, and we have the payment plan, which is aligned to the construction. But still, these developments is being done by humans, not machines. So you should set expectations. Delivery is going to be 2028, but please, let's consider that's going to be Q1 2028. No developer in the world doesn't have delays, and sometimes delays, it's not from their part. So setting expectation for that is really important. Then you go for the fears that the market uncertainty, which already we have eliminated with the transparency index. All the information is there. Everything is around us, whatever platform that they are using. And then you go for the unknown quality. For the unknown quality, it might be a challenge for a developer who is going to be delivering their first project. But actually, if I truly believe in this developer, and maybe I have had a visit for their show apartment or something, most likely this developer is here for a single project or for a multiple projects. Most likely multiple. So if he made a bad first project, what will be their destiny for the others? It's going to be like a time bomb. Then you go for the financial growth. Be transparent about the financial growth and don't oversell, don't overpromise. Till now, I can see TikTok videos from other people that are speaking about, buy your property now off plan and I'll get you 45% ROI. I don't know something legal in real estate that gives 45%. It doesn't work this way. So you should clear this out of the way. And then the lifestyle improvement. People right now, they don't buy real estate. They buy quality of life. 30 years or 40 years back, people were based on the asset centricity culture, which was the culture that people are focused about the location only, the land plot. I would buy a land plot, get hoarding, have a chair, umbrella, lemon juice, and people will come to buy from me. Nothing is offered in the market. But right now, we are at the era of the customer centricity culture. People are focused on what's being offered to the customer. This is why they will ask you, what amenities in the building? And if you start speaking about gym, swimming pool, and parking, you are from yesterday. This is the default right now. This is what people are expecting. But if I spoke to you about the first infrared sauna in whole of UAE, which technology is actually, for me, is working like a microwave. They are cooking my fats inside. Is this available? Yes, it's available right now in Dubai. So this might be an added value. If I talk to you about an infinity pool with salty water, which is hygienic, eco-friendly, this is something that I might go for. So you need to show the added value and to check the project from your own perspective. You need to have an eagle eye, create your own USPs. All developers will come to you, and they have their respected sales managers coming and listing all the amenities and facilities. Okay, you should doing it your way. Maybe they see it as a 6, you should see it as a 9. Create your own USPs for each and every product, because each and every one of us has his own fingerprint in terms of selling. No one can sell like other. You might learn. But never I will imitate you or you imitate me, because when you imitate me or I imitate you, you are taking both my strengths and weaknesses. You should keep yours, you should keep your own persona. And then hopes for the prestige and the ownership. Definitely you need to clarify about the types of ownership that are happening. So I think right now with this clock, I would go first and ask you to do something. And this is mandatory for each and everyone in the room. This is a single question that I need you please to scan with your QR codes and to answer this question so that you would be able to get your certificate and all of us maintain the Guinness World Record, as well as being able to enter the raffle for the MacBooks and the iPhones. So please, let's have this time, and you need to scan the QR codes, please. Let me move out. Again, scanning the QR code and answering the question is really critical and important. Can we show it, please, on the middle screen? Because I think there is a challenge with this one because of the AYS box here.